What's up, LTA? This your boy Doe.
What up, man? It's Sparky, man. Let's get to it.
Man, what we on for today, yo? How you feeling?
Man, so this topic, man, came up last week, you know what I'm saying? And I felt like it was an interesting conversation that spilled out from it, but it also generated a lot of controversy. So, like, at no point is anyone trying to be sexist or anything, but the topic for today is men caught looking, or women caught looking.
Let me tell us these people.
So, we're gonna kick it off.
It's about men caught women. Men caught looking and women caught looking at the opposite sex while they out.
So that's the topic.
They can't hear you. You don't think
That's
they can
the
hear
topic right now. You know what I'm saying?
They can't hear.
Me personally, I honestly don't want to speak on it too tough because I want to have the ladies kind of conversate on it. You know what I mean? And like, what does it feel for a woman? Like when a woman catches her man looking at another woman, like what should a man know in order to avoid the conflict that comes with an accusation of him looking at another woman?
Well, I
The hot topic though.
The hot topic
is what?
is the flip side.
A woman
It's
being
the
out
flip
there.
side. It's the flip side. So I don't want to talk about the women's side too tough because I want them to be here to represent themselves. You know what I'm saying? But
let me get my 2 cents on it
Go
real
ahead.
quick, and then everybody can go do y'all thing. Me personally, I'm a little older now, you know, but I'm not going to be with somebody that's looking at me to see what I'm looking like. That's so petty to me. Like, everybody's going to look at your eyes. Now, if you just sitting there staring and gawping or whatever they call it, then you bogus. But if we're inside a store and a beautiful woman walk past, if my girl or whoever I'm with is sitting there trying to look at me to see if I'm looking at her, she's insecure about something. And vice versa. I'm not going to be sitting there trying to look at her to see who she's looking at like that. Like I said, as long as we ain't flat out disrespectful with it, you're going to look, you're going to see what you see. We got eyes. I mean, come on now. If we still live in that type of life. Now, for the younger people, I could go for that. If you in your 20s, early 20s, something of that nature, you might go through. If you're going through that at 40 and stuff, I feel sorry for you. That's just me personally.
right.
That's just me.
My thing
So go ahead.
my thing is respect level. It's the conversation needs to be had when you engage into a relationship, so you understand these things of what not to do and what to do. Some people don't discuss these things. That's why they have these problems. You shouldn't be having these second strokes in your life with a relationship and a company you're involved with if you've already conversated about this, because they know not to do this. You don't appreciate that. So if you don't appreciate something and they do it to you anyway, that's disrespect, and you don't have to be involved with that. What we really want to do though is stop what's really going on with these relationships when this stuff ever happen and that violence becomes involved.
So that's my biggest problem. That's my biggest. What's up? What they saying?
Hey, motherfuckers say, shit, if a motherfucker look good while I'm with my man, I'm looking with him. We in 2022, what the fuck is you talking about? We both looking.
That's the thing, right? So like, on the flip side, that's probably a woman being able to say that. If we say something like that, it could be viewed in a different light. So dancing around this topic is real sensitive for a man because it can be viewed as being male chauvinistic. So that's why I want the women to speak.
And can I say this?
Say that shit, Steve.
Can I?
Hey, that one sis.
You
put my mouth there. She ain't looking at that shit.
Say that shit.
Can I say something?
No, can I say something? That was Kanani.
Say that shit.
Can I say something?
Go ahead. We got one.
To the guy in the brown, what's his name?
Risco.
That is accurate. We both can look, but that comes from a man and a woman just looking at a woman. Men and women don't look at men together.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna, but what I'm not gonna do.
And on the back end, just kind of piggyback off of that, give me 2 seconds. To piggyback off of that, it would be acceptable for a woman to look at another woman, whereas it would be kind of suspect if a man is eyeballing another man. So in the world, women possibly look and check out people more than the man does.
I ain't here to fight that. I ain't never here to fight that situation. Not even remotely. Not even remotely. But what I will do is I will respect it to the fact that that if I notice or if I just so happen to catch a glimpse of my woman, I'm not gonna be the one to entertain the fact that he may be this or he may be that. I'm gonna be like, I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm gonna be quiet as a church mouse.
Okay, but what
It's okay.
what happened when she say, oh, that, knowing we all know she looking at somebody because she gonna say, oh, them shoes, I like them shoes, or them pants look cute, or that jacket nice.
See, now that's different. Now you're going.
We talking about the parents, right? I'm talking about
looking.
I'm gonna definitely hold
Looking
myself
don't come
on
with
this.
comments, though.
I'm gonna be one of the freshest motherfuckers you gonna be around too, baby. So we gonna be on that together.
Hold on, let's get some, we got some people back here that wanna say something.
Looking can come with
Okay,
confidence.
I say like, you know, like for me, when I'm in love with someone, I'm not looking at nobody else. That's just me.
Okay, let's go. I'm gonna clap you up. Hey, listen, I'm gonna clap you up for that because that's not typical nowadays, right? I'm gonna clap you up for that because that's an understanding that comes from before where we are right now, right? So that's very respectable and commendable. I appreciate you. I respect you for all of that because that doesn't happen naturally. That doesn't hapen normally.
So now when you say you're not looking though, when somebody walk past you, what do you close your eyes or?
No, like I don't mean like that. Like I'm just not. I mean, I might see a guy, but I'm not like looking, you know, or breaking my neck to look at somebody, and that's just not me.
Right.
I'm
So
not
do you,
interested in nobody else. If I'm with someone and I'm loving them, I'm not interested in no one else.
now do you ever say in your mind ever? I'm just curious. Do you ever say in your mind when if say a good looking whoever you're attracted to walk past? Do you ever in your mind be like, oh, they look good? Do you ever do that? Never.
No.
No,
Okay.
because I'm with the person I want to be with.
Right. But no, it's just acknowledging the beauty
No,
of it, you know what I'm
I
saying?
know.
But okay, that's cool. How about let's get the other lady. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I want to say this, in all honesty, you're all about 50-50, but let's begin at the beginning. So you meet a woman, right? You like her. So you want to take her out, right? But you're just dating her, all right? So if a good looking woman walks by, you're going to be checking her out. Because really, you're just getting to know this girl, right? However, there's a difference between that and when you're in a relationship. Because that conversation, right, in the beginning of the relationship should happen. And it's happened with me and my wife, all right? All right, so me and my wife know if there's a good looking man, sometimes she even points him out to me.
That's what I was just saying. That's
You know what I'm saying? And that is, but we had that conversation.
So we got somebody that say,
Yeah.
somebody say, you can have a person that you attracted to, and then you not want that motherfucker. So she's
But
saying that it's okay to
where
look.
are you in that relationship, is what I'm just saying.
But my thing is this, the look. What do you guys determine as far as the look? Is it a quick look, or is it a long study look, or you just like?
So let's
See?
define the look.
Looks.
Yeah.
So let's define the look. A look is when you're in a public space and somebody kind of catches your eye. The eye might follow them for a segment of time. It might even size them up. But it's just a look. Right? And the way that I look at it is like in the world that we live in, for one, I come from a different environment. At one point in time, I've seen individuals create hostile situations and resort to violence because someone looked at somebody. So I've seen girls go upside guys' heads, and I've seen guys go upside girls' heads about looking at somebody. My thing is, and one thing I hope that we can get is that when looking at somebody, it should not create the conflict to the point where you are arguing or fighting with the person that you are with. It has to be an understanding at some point, at some degree of understanding that allows a person to just be natural without having to worry about getting their head cracked.
So that's why I say
That's why we're talking about it.
and that's why I say me personally, this might be more for a conversation for a person in their teens, early 20s. But if you're my age, if you're like I said, if you're 40, no disrespect. If you're still going through stuff like somebody looking at somebody, y'all need to, I don't know what to take. But you should be disrespectful when you look. Like I said, you shouldn't be staring and gawking. But if you look, somebody walk by and you look and she had a nice ass, it should just be a look. The person next to you shouldn't even know you looked.
Let's go.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's go to that other part though. That other part that we not talking about. It's that other part that we not talking about. When a person, when a guy look at your girl look back.
Yep.
And you catch that part. You feel me?
Yep.
We ain't talking about that part neither, right? Now again, somebody just said, hey, you can look at a person and then you not want that motherfucker, but can find them attractive. But what happens when that person catch that look? Because women catch them looks.
I think the
Nigga,
question
nobody
is-
say, yeah, a woman will walk past and know that a man look at her.
Yeah, right.
In such a way, and she gonna figure out in that moment whether she like him, cause she knew when she walked past
You
him.
can't determine what they thinking. So that's
You can't determine what they thinking.
That's one of my things that come along.
So what do
with
you got? What do you have?
All you got is what you see, and what
If
you
she
see,
look back at you,
and
then
what you see,
you get from what you get from
and
them.
what you see is something that shouldn't even create no type of conflict.
No,
It shouldn't create no conflict to the point, and I'm speaking on just on the experience because I've witnessed this. You know what I'm saying? And I've witnessed it recently. And in this conversation, so many other conversations came up, from domestic violence to dressing provocative to women looking at women and men. You know what I'm saying? And them being more judgmental of if they catch their man. It's like the conversation could go so deep because,
Yes,
in my opinion, sometimes we get individuals. Like, and I've seen individuals, you know what I'm saying, and I've spoke to women who intentionally wake up, get dressed just so they can see how many guys can break their neck for them. And you know what I'm saying, it's messed up, but when you hear it come out of a woman's mouth, it's kind of like you gotta pay attention to it. And I wish that you know what I'm saying, we had more women to kind of dive in deep on that, you know what I'm saying?
My man got something to say here.
And to my knowledge, what I get from this, it all brings a sense of insecurities in some type of form. I don't care if the person you're with, they are insecure about you looking at somebody, or you're insecure about them looking at someone, or the woman who puts that stuff on to get looked at, that's insecurity in itself as well. Because you're doing this for attention, that's attention seeking, that's an insecurity in itself.
Right.
You need to be seen, you need to be chosen. So that's something that the void you're trying to fill as well. It's still all insecurity. So why are these insecurities in this situation?
So we got women on here. They ask you questions.
Okay.
I want to make sure we give a space to,
Yeah.
because it didn't open up like that. But let's get into space too. So
What's the
one of the
question?
questions was, can a man see another woman and he's in a relationship, and when he goes home with his woman at night, see that woman who he's seen,
Oh,
who he
no,
was attracted to?
no,
I'm not gonna lie.
I've never done that.
The question, let me finish the question, right? The question is, can I be out with my lady, right? And I see this woman and I'm like, God damn, she bad as hell. Now my woman didn't peep none of that, and it didn't come to that situation to where my woman had to acknowledge the fact that she seen me see her, but I see her myself. Can we go home and lay with our woman and see that woman who we were attracted to while we were out?
I ain't never done that.
I have.
I've never done
And I'm gonna be 100% honest. Not that my woman wasn't bad. Not that my woman wasn't bad, and she not pretty. But however, if it comes to a certain place to where I'm so committed to my woman that I ain't gonna step outside of her. But however, I got an imagination. I was looking in a Barney bag.
Well, you know, in that
And
case,
I've done that.
in that
For a
case,
fact.
in that
Cross my mind.
Hey, hold up, y'all, back there. In that case, though, I mean, what you gonna do? You gonna be visualizing 10 different girls? I'm pretty sure during the day you seen 100 beautiful women. You be with one woman for 40 years, and you tell me that don't happen. I mean, but them is kind of questions though. That's so like them is something like. I don't know, man. This stuff is so elementary to me. I'm sorry.
Hey, the experience level allows me to accept the fact that I have done that.
No doubt. I mean, well, I think we all, I don't care. See, most people won't admit it, so to me, them kind of questions is pointless to ask, because most people won't admit that you see somebody else when you're looking at your person having sex. Sometimes. In a lifespan, you're going to see somebody else here and there in blue moon. People might not admit to that, but that's just kind of.
And let's make the relationship with the people. Let's make the relationship who we are with comfortable enough. See, that's where it starts at. Let's make the relationship when we started out comfortable enough to where good or bad, I can tell the person who I decided that I was going to spend my life with and be with to be so honest and so upfront that this person is going to know. Not that I'm going to tell this person, oh yeah, when I was nailing you, I was looking at this other girl, but in such a way, that I can tell her that I do from time to time, I am attracted to other women.
All right, do we got any more perspectives back here on this subject?
That just threw me off.
Only thing I believe
Like-
people allowed to have is a fantasy crush. Now, if you got a celebrity crush, now that's a little different. Because you're not even finna meet that person. But that person you just saw walking down the street, you at home talking about you was thinking about her?
No. That wouldn't even come with,
That's
what was you finna
exactly
say?
what
I just said that that's not that I'm going to do that.
We got other people.
I was gonna say the same thing he was gonna say. What if somebody like a superstar, somebody, my husband, I love my husband. He's handsome for his age, whatever. I don't know. My crush is Sam Elliott. I'm sorry. I love Sam Elliott. And I don't put his face on my husband every now and then, just for a role play or some shit like that. But other than that, as far as do it constantly or for somebody else that I don't know and don't, no.
I don't even think that type of stuff would come up. That's my point.
Yeah.
Like, who would say that? Like, why? Like, why would that even?
I've never in my life encountered
Couples
that.
don't watch porn?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
What's that?
No.
That's it, something I wanna say.
What is that
What do we
then?
got?
I'm looking,
I do want to-
that's like imaginable, bro. That's like TV, that's like watching a movie.
All right, we got somebody.
You can't touch the movie. You
In my
can't touch the movie. Go ahead.
I'll be honest, in my perspective, the way I look at things, and how I see stuff, right? Women are complicated. The most complicated person you'll run into in your life.
Thank you.
And I know that these two ladies back here will disagree with me, but for us, for men, when we're approaching them, most of the time we're just scared.
Yeah, and we gotta be real
Come on,
delicate. You
be
gotta
honest,
handle,
man.
you gotta handle
You know,
with
I mean,
care.
even if you wanna hang, you're looking at her and you're saying to yourself, oh man, yeah, that's her, right? Come on, we're scared. At that moment, we're scared. We'll always be that scared.
Why? When,
Because we
It's the unknown.
always want, because we care about the women in our lives. We do. When we want to make them happy. And we honestly feel that. And when we feel like we're failing, it really wrecks us as men. Okay? If there is that woman that you truly want to do that, where you have that with her, that is the scariest thing you'll ever be in. It's scary every day. It is. Honestly. And it's not scary like, oh, I'm scared. No, it's just because you want to make sure that you do right by her. That's why you marry her. That's why you be with her. You don't even have to marry her. I know a lot of guys in relationships, been in relationships for 15, 20 years.
That's not jazz hand, that's a silent clap. That's for
And
people
they
who
are
are deaf.
not.
Let me help you out.
So that's how I feel, okay? As a man,
Let's,
I've been there.
Thank you.
let's-
Thank you for
Okay?
that. That was
So
real.
That's what it's all
So
about. It's
that was
about
real.
them, our world, whether any of us want to think about it, our world kind of like
Revolves around making them happy.
100%.
This is why, when the
Okay.
conversation came up,
Yes.
it was a
So-
tiptoe situation, right?
And now, oh, one last thing. We are not good at it.
No, we not.
100%.
No, like,
We are
that's
not good
why.
at
Why we
it.
get caught?
And
Why we get bumped?
It's all,
No
in
matter
all
what we
honesty,
do.
like, the conversation could go so much deeper, but it's like we gotta tiptoe around the situation because we not trying to spark no conflict. And if somebody was telling me about the conversation, they say pick your battles, right? Pick your battles when you discussing topics involving women.
Yep.
Let the women speak for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's not done like that, man, it's looked at as you're not being considerate or caring about their feelings.
I
You know what I'm
do.
saying? How many minutes we got?
Do we have anything else on this? Cause I did.
I got one thing to say.
Go ahead.
My sister and her man, they've been together for 30 plus years. He looks at girls and make it noticeable. My sister say something to him, he rubs it off. My sister is so faithful to him that, she'll look at a guy who used to talk to him like, and he'll get mad.
Right.
See, but the thing is she be like, you just gawking over this female. Me and my sister just sitting here talking about a guy that looked nice, handsome, whatever, gave him a compliment, whatever. when you just sit there and basically undress that girl with your eyes.
Them situations is scary.
And they're not married, they've been together for 33 years.
It's the control piece.
Respect is and what disrespect they. I don't even know why those type of things be brung up in relationships. Like, it's common sense. Once again, if you're going to look, you shouldn't be looking enough for she could notice that you're looking. And if a girl do look, he shouldn't notice that you look, because it shouldn't be a stare. Like, how? This is crazy.
Yeah.
I wish I would be walking with a girl and she talk about why'd you look. This day's done right there. Because I'm not gonna be sitting there gawking. But if I happen just to look like, man, what is we talking about? Man, we got
One thing, a lot of problems come from this thing like this right here is because insecurities come from infidelities. Someone did something they don't have no business doing.
Mm-hmm.
And when the person real dumb in a relationship and he's watching what she's doing real hard, or she watching what he's doing, one of them haven't done something they ain't no business doing. And people don't believe that, but if I gotta watch you that hard, either you did something to hurt me, or I'm doing something that I'm watching you, because a thief will watch a thief. He don't want to be stolen from. That's just how the world is. When people do stuff that they're not supposed to do, they don't want done to them. So they pay more attention to make sure that it doesn't happen.
Right.
It's called covering your ass. It's just what it is.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying too much about the subject at all because, you know, I ain't, you know, like, it's an interesting conversation, man, and I think to have it needs to be a balanced conversation in order to really get to the answers that's
I
needed.
agree on that.
You know what I'm
There's no
saying?
balance that you're insecure. That's the bottom line, man or
No, but
woman.
if
There
we
ain't
don't
no
have
balance
balance
to
for
that.
themselves.
Right, we gotta have, you know, they gotta be able to speak, you know what I'm saying?
But if you just
My
look and
biggest
not
thing is
reacting
it's
how they
like,
look, then
some of our opinions have been jaded, you know what I'm saying? So some of our opinions have been jaded in regards to the way that we look at relationships and the dynamics of it. So
I'm
I have
saying-
a
I'm saying man
a collective jury around it.
I'm saying man or woman, period. If you're studying that, like he just said, if you're spending that much time worried about something that petty, you don't need to be in a relationship. You need to go fix
But it's
yourself.
people that are in relationships that have to deal with
Right,
that
just
on
like
a
it's people that
regular
got kids
basis.
that don't need kids. That's life. It's gonna happen.
So like even with the situation with your brother, right? So she knows not to look at nobody because he gonna have a fit. That's like a level of control.
That is right. That's
That is.
y'all don't need to be in a
See, but
relationship.
also what's right about
There is a level.
That's
but-
like
But he's also right about the
It's like
infidelity
biological
because
abuse.
we just found out that he has a 15-year-old kid.
So there's
See, that's-
reason
So
for
and
what
when
the
that's what
that goes back to
made
the point I just said,
made us
infidelity.
come up with that information when I was in there. Like my husband, I'll give somebody a compliment. I give a female a compliment too. That don't mean I want to be with that person. So with that being said, like I told my sister, I'm like, we're just talking about how nice he look. Like we're not sitting there drooling over him or whatever. We just conversating about him and moving on. So, but with you sitting there, like basically still looking at this lady as you sitting there, like,
would it be
Try-
okay for the man to compliment the woman?
yeah.
That's what she just said. The man
Yeah,
said
but
he does all the
Yeah,
gawking.
yeah.
She said the man does all the gawking and then gets mad.
But he's
For
insecure
what
with
they're
himself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
but,
insecure with
ultimately,
himself.
when he's the one that has like a kid, little 15-year-old kid, and his kids are all grown, and then we just found out that he got a 15-year-old kid. Like, that
They've been together 30 years.
leads to him, and my sister knows this, and it's like, that's why she just, whatever, off her shoulder when he sits there and say something like, I wouldn't talk right now because of your situation.
Ultimately, it's a level of experience that we all come into contact with
Yeah.
across all boards,
Yeah.
right? And then my level of experience may not be his level of experience because where we started out from ground zero. And I think that's really what we gotta look at, because how I may look at things or a few things, we can't expect everybody else to see it the same way, because maybe I was a little bit more privy to certain things that the next person wasn't. So he's not gonna be, or she's not gonna be exposed to certain things. And I think that's what this is doing right here. It's exposing us to people's different levels of experience. I may look at things and say, 9 times out of 10, the woman who I deal with, we're gonna both look at opposite sex, and it's not gonna be a problem. And she may look at somebody, and I may not see an issue with it. And the next person may be like, well, if you're still looking at people and you're watching what it is that I'm looking at, then we should not be together. those are all things that we have to come to reality with ourselves. That's why it's about self-knowledge, knowing thyself. When you know what it is that you're willing to accept, then you know how to approach those situations from the beginning. I'm not gonna have a situation that I'm not comfortable with 5 years down the road, because at this age, like you said, at 40 or that whatever age that is, I know what it is I'm comfortable with and what I'm willing to accept.
No doubt.
So
Definitely gotta do that.
ultimately, we want to have different perspectives about everybody, and it's no big me, little you, and there's no one view better than the other.
So check this out.